Kids wanted to go out on a group date, and we realized that we really haven't established dating guidelines here in Vegas, and so we decided to talk to them about the different rules. And
we want to be involved in your decisions with your dating, and your decisions with who you associate with, and your decisions about your friends.
Robyn tells me all these stories about how many guys she was with, and you
dated one day.
dated.
I did not single date until I was 18.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It's Wednesday, April 6th. I hope you're having a good day. I have some updates about the sister wives. Do you remember how last season Christine divorced Kody? I do. Okay, so last season, Kody and Christine split, and actually the show had super high ratings. And Paedon Brown had made a mention on a podcast that because the series had such high ratings last season, it is likely to continue for several more seasons. Now, some of you in my comments have said that you won't watch it without Christine. So
what does the nanny do?
I think she's going to be in the next season, though, because we have to still deal with their breakup. So in the middle of all of that, there's been a lot of questions about what Kody is going to do. Is Kody going to take another wife? Is he done with polygamy? Kody said that he was questioning polygamy. He wasn't sure if he wanted to stay as a polygamist. He was sort of like at this very weird crossroads. Robyn in the tell-all said that, it was a very unstable place for Kody to be right now, simply because, in their culture, men can sometimes, leave all of the wives or take off with just one of the wives and be done with polygamy. So I saw this headline and it said that there's a sister wife star on a dating app. And initially I was like, wouldn't it be funny if Kody Brown was using a dating app to try to find his fourth wife? Because he only has 3 wives now. And obviously that's not what the headline was about, but I was thinking, could you imagine Kody using his Instagram or Twitter or Cameo to try to pick up women? Did you remember that one time he made that really weird cameo where he was being really flirty about that woman's birthday? Obviously, knowing Kody and how much Kody wants good ratings, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes another wife. But this sister wife cast member that's in the dating pool is not Kody, it's his son Paedon. And this actually is via Reddit, and they found Paedon on a dating app called Hinge. I have been out of the dating scene for more than a decade, so I do apologize. I don't really know a whole lot about these apps. Back when I was in this world, there weren't a such thing as dating apps. But the app Hinge has him on there, and Paedon has been on his TikTok talking about how he's had some sort of mix-ups with his dating apps and had struggles finding people to be with his dating apps or whatever. But one of the questions on there was, who do you find yourself weirdly attracted to? And he says, I'm attracted to everyone, not weirdly. I just am really attracted to goth women and witches. Is this is this a fake account? Goth women and witches. Do you think that his dad would have a heyday knowing that he's attracted to witches? What is even a witch? Is that someone that practices Wiccan, or is it just does he mean the aesthetic of a witch? I mean, goth women, I definitely can have an idea of what a goth woman looks like. I didn't really think that goth was still popular, so there's that. But witches, what does that even mean? What does that mean, Paedon? And then he says that he drinks sometimes. He does not smoke, but he does partake in the green leafy stuff. So he's he takes a toke here and there. Interesting. I guess that shouldn't surprise me. He says that he's a soldier in the Army. I think he's in the National Guard. He lists himself as a Christian, and he lives in St. George. So I guess I'm not surprised that he drinks. I think Aspen and Mitch drink, and I think some of the other kids drink, like McKelty and Tony, maybe. Logan and his girlfriend, or fiance, they drink as well. I don't know how, everyone says that Mary on Friday Night with Friends always looks drunk, but people say that about me on Instagram. Like, they'll say, oh, she's just drinking, and I've like literally not had a drop. Sometimes people are just like wired, or they're like giddy when they're online. So I don't really know. With Mary, I don't know that she does drink. She insists she's always drinking water with caffeine. I don't know. I know that they sometimes drink wine or beer sometimes. And I think, if I remember correctly, Kody and Robyn were seen out at a restaurant, and they actually were drinking beer and wine or champagne. And I was like, whoa, whatever happened to their like super uber Mormon lifestyle or fundamentalist lifestyle, where like no alcohol? So he sometimes partakes, and he likes witches. Interesting. Could you imagine him bringing a witch home? What is a witch? Like, I don't even think of witches as being real. Like the Salem witch trials, like witchcraft. It just seems so interesting. I wish we had I wish we would see more dating on the show. So Paedon, good luck on your dating life. I hope you find the witch of your dreams. Gwendlyn. So on to another thing that I noticed, and I saw this on my Instagram, was that Gwendlyn had posted a photo of her on her Instagram, and someone had asked her a question, and they had said something about like Robyn. And you know how like when they all blended their families, they always said that each mom is their mom, right? So everyone has a mom. Even though they're not like a real mom, they're still like mom. So, it's a sister wife. So like Christine is still mom, and Robyn is still mom, and Mary is still mom. That's how they sort of portrayed it. Well, when someone asked Gwendlyn about who Robyn was, she said, my stepmom. I mean, technically, she's not lying. Robyn is married to her dad, and so Robyn is her stepmom. And if you remember, on the last season, Robyn said that she didn't feel like a mom. She felt more like a stepmom. So do you think that Gwendlyn using stepmom is like sort of a jab at Robyn, and like, oh, that's just my stepmom? I have a strong sense of belief that Robyn does not have a very good relationship with the older kids. I think Paedon said on that podcast that they don't have a relationship with Robyn very much at all. So I guess using the term stepmom could be seen as trying to distance yourself from, oh, it's not really my mom. Like, I'm not embracing her as my mom. She's my stepmom. Even though technically speaking, she's not lying. So Robyn is Gwendlyn's stepmom. Then that got me thinking about, would Kody bring in another wife? And would he have more kids? Okay, so this was another thing I've been thinking about a lot lately. And I said this at the very beginning of this video. So Paedon's the one that's on the dating app. Gwendlyn says that Robyn is her stepmom. We all know that Kody now is working, and he has his job selling his kits and going to these shows and selling all of his medals. And I was like, okay, so now that Kody only has 3 wives, and he has lost like one of the people that will help him get to the highest level of his celestial kingdom, would he go on to find a new wife? Would he maybe marry like one of their cousins? Would he marry a sibling, like of one of the sisters' wives, of one of his sister wives? Or would he try to find a younger wife to have more kids with? I'm trying in a lot of scenarios to figure out if Kody would do this. And the only scenario I can think of this actually happening is if he needed to boost the ratings. I think he would do it. I honestly think a lot of the decisions that are made in their lives have to do with the show. Part of the reason, in my opinion, they moved, obviously Dayton went to college in Flagstaff, but I think part of the reason they were moving a lot and had all these like upheavals in their lives was to add drama to the show. And I think Kody's willing to do whatever it takes to add as much drama as possible. So if he needed to improve ratings after Christine's gone, I think he'd do it. I honestly think he would. I don't think there's anything that Kody isn't willing to do to maintain the show for relevancy. And that part of like reality television really, if I'm going to be honest, grosses me out. It's like how on Teen Mom, some of these women just keep having kids because they get more money for the kids that they have. It's kind of the same way with how the Duggars would just keep having kids. I mean, they obviously believe in having all of those kids, but they were incentivized by the network to have more kids. And TLC would pay a lot more money for Kody to have a new wife. They would pay him a bonus probably to have a new wedding. They would pay him a bonus if they had kids. It would bring in a whole new set of eyes to the show. What if the nanny is his fifth wife and they've been hiding her all of this time? Wouldn't that be a hoot? Okay, I don't know if that will happen, but you know, it seems like when you get stuck in the world of reality television and you have to keep finding ways to keep your family relevant and interesting, some families really just won't, there's no bottom for them in terms of what they won't do. So do you think that Kody would take a fifth wife or fourth wife for the sake of the show, not because he actually wants one and believes he needs one? And what do you think about Paedon and his witches and the stepmom comment by Gwendlyn? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.